In recent years, supermarket shelves across the United States have filled with cakes and protein bars that carry tempting names like protein muffin, protein pancake, and high-protein bar. Many ads promise that a small pastry can deliver all the energy and protein we need to feed our muscles, sometimes even replacing a full meal. For those of us over 60 who worry about preserving muscle and preventing weak legs, these products can sound very appealing. Figures from Glanbia Nutritionals suggest that about 40% of American consumers are interested in protein-rich baked goods, and as many as 74% are willing to pay an extra $1 to $4 for a protein version of a familiar treat. This shows that the trend of protein bars and protein cakes is no longer limited to younger people. It has reached older adults as well. The real question is whether these high-protein pastries truly support muscle after 60, or whether they hide ingredients that leave us tired and weaker. A label that says protein does not automatically translate to stronger muscles. In fact, many products are heavy in sugar and additives, and they may lack essential amino acids such as leucine, which is the key trigger for muscle repair. In today's video, we will look at why protein bars and protein cakes became a trend, what they actually contain, why many older adults use them in the wrong way, and most importantly, what happens when we overuse them over time. We will finish with smarter choices that help us get protein safely and effectively. If practical natural health topics like this are useful to you, please like this video, share it so friends your age can see it, and subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. I would also love to hear from you. Do you rely on protein bars or high-protein baked goods to replace a meal, or do you stick with home-cooked food? A quick walk through American groceries and health stores shows how the protein bar and protein pastry sections keep expanding. Muffins, pancakes, even cookies now come in high-protein versions. What is driving this shift? Reports from Glanbia Nutritionals indicate that around 40% of consumers are interested in protein-rich baked goods, and 74% are willing to spend an extra $1 to $4 for a product labeled protein. This tells us that the desire to add more protein has become a powerful trend. It is not just gym goers. It has spread to middle-aged and older adults who want to maintain strength. The reasons are easy to understand. We all know that protein matters for muscle. As we get older, we worry about muscle loss, leg weakness, and reduced power. When we see a familiar pastry advertised as high in protein, many of us assume it offers a tasty and convenient way to get what our bodies need. A small cake often feels more approachable than preparing a full meal with eggs, fish, or yogurt. Marketing also plays a strong role. Packages often show active, energetic images that suggest we can maintain muscle and youth simply by eating the product. This is especially attractive to older adults who want a simple path to staying strong. Modern life adds to the appeal. Many of us eat on the go. A protein bar fits in a pocket or purse and can be finished in a few minutes. For people who are busy or prefer not to cook, it is an easy choice. Once the label says high protein, it becomes a quick stand-in for a meal without much thought. Here is where problems begin. A booming trend does not automatically mean a product is good for our health, especially for muscles after 60. The truth is that many protein pastries and bars are loaded with sugar and additives such as glycerin for softness, yet they may fall short on crucial components like leucine, the amino acid that most effectively switches on muscle protein synthesis. In other words, these products can deliver plenty of calories without truly nourishing our muscles. This is exactly what we will unpack next. We will examine what is really inside these high-protein products and why they can backfire when we use them blindly. When we see a protein bar or cake on the supermarket shelf, the first thing that usually catches our eye is the bold claim on the front 20 grams of protein or high protein. Many people stop there and assume that the product must be good for their muscles. But if we turn the package around and read the ingredient list, we often find a very different story. A large number of protein bars on the market are loaded with sugar. The sugar may come in the form of corn syrup, cane sugar, or other sweeteners. The problem is that high sugar intake causes blood sugar to rise quickly, which forces the body to release a surge of insulin. Younger people can sometimes handle these swings, but in older adults, the ability to regulate blood sugar is reduced. This can lead to longer periods of high blood sugar, chronic low-grade inflammation, and slower muscle recovery. Instead of supporting muscle health, the sugar becomes a factor that actually weakens it. Another common ingredient is glycerin. Food manufacturers use it to hold moisture and keep bars soft and chewy. From a food technology standpoint, glycerin is legal and considered safe in small amounts. But nutritionally, it does almost nothing for muscle. It provides empty energy without vitamins, minerals, or the amino acids that matter most. For older adults who need every gram of nutrition to count toward muscle preservation, eating bars full of glycerin is like filling the body with calories that have no real value. Perhaps the most concerning issue is that many products are short on leucine. Leucine is the essential amino acid that acts like a switch to turn on muscle protein synthesis. This means that a bar may list 20 grams of protein, but if that protein mostly comes from low leucine sources, such as gelatin or heavily processed soy, it does not activate muscle repair effectively. For people over 60, this matters even more because the aging body requires higher leucine intake to overcome what scientists call anabolic resistance. That is why the same amount of protein from a boiled egg or Greek yogurt is far more effective for muscle recovery than the equivalent from an industrial protein bar. Picture this scenario. An older adult finishes a walk and, instead of having a simple snack like an egg or a cup of yogurt, reaches for a high-protein bar. After eating it, blood sugar rises, insulin spikes, and yet the leucine level is too low to kickstart muscle rebuilding. The outcome is little to no improvement in recovery, while the extra energy is stored as fat. Over time, this habit leads not only to muscle decline, but also to belly weight gain, adding more strain to the heart. This does not mean every protein bar is bad. Some higher quality options have balanced formulas with less sugar and enough leucine to support older adults when used wisely. Unfortunately, the majority of mainstream products are designed to be cheap to make and easy to sell, not to truly nourish muscles. That is why the most important habit before buying is to read the nutrition label carefully. If a bar has more than 10 grams of sugar, contains a long list of additives like glycerin or maltitol, and provides protein mainly from low-quality sources rather than whey or casein, it is not a smart choice for muscles at 60 and beyond. So why do many older adults still keep using these products? The answer often lies in how they are consumed. Instead of being treated as an occasional supplement, protein bars are too often used in ways that set us up for disappointment. One of the main reasons protein bars and high-protein pastries become problematic for people over 60 is not simply the products themselves, but the way they are used. Many older adults place too much hope in these convenient items, treating them as complete meal replacements or even as miracle muscle boosters. That misplaced expectation is where the trouble begins. A common mistake is using protein bars as substitutes for full meals. A proper meal should include protein, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. A bar, even one labeled high protein, rarely provides all of that. When older adults eat a bar instead of breakfast or lunch, they may get some protein and quite a bit of sugar, but they miss out on fiber, calcium, zinc, and other nutrients that keep muscles and bones strong. Another mistake is eating a bar right after exercise without checking the quality of the protein. After a walk or a yoga session, muscles need high-quality protein with enough leucine to trigger repair. If the bar is high in sugar and low in leucine, the recovery effect is weak. Many older adults notice that despite eating at a bar after activity, they still feel sore and do not improve over time. Science explains why. Without enough leucine, the muscle-building signal never fully switches on, and the body is left with protein that looks good on paper but does little in practice. A third mistake is treating bars as daily snacks. Instead of viewing them as occasional supplements, many people carry them around and eat one whenever they feel hungry or bored. The calories add up quickly. For someone over 60, metabolism has already slowed, and excess calories are more likely to be stored as belly fat. This belly fat is not only a cosmetic issue, it is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. We may think we are doing something healthy with a protein snack, but in reality, we may be adding extra weight that works against us. Imagine a 65-year-old who buys a box of protein bars at the store. For breakfast, instead of oatmeal with milk, they grab a bar. At lunchtime, they are busy and eat at another bar. After an afternoon walk, they use yet another bar for recovery. By the end of the day, they may have eaten 3 bars, taken in over 600 calories, and still missed essential vitamins, minerals, and leucine. The result is weight gain around the middle, declining muscle mass, and no real improvement in strength. The lesson here is that protein bars are not inherently harmful. The problem comes from relying on them too heavily and in the wrong way. When used occasionally, chosen carefully, and balanced with real meals, they can be convenient. But when they become meal replacements or everyday snacks, they shift from being a supplement to being a poor substitute. And that is the path to long-term negative effects. These effects are not limited to weight gain or lingering soreness after activity. Over time, they can contribute to bigger health problems such as diabetes, muscle loss, and bone weakness. This is why our next point will take a deeper look at the long-term consequences of relying too much on protein bars for people over 60. A small habit, when repeated day after day, can build into something that shapes our health in major ways. That is true for good habits, and it is also true for habits that are not quite right. With protein bars, many older adults begin by thinking that having a few each week is a convenient way to support their muscles. But when the habit grows into using them as meal replacements or daily snacks, the consequences become clear. One of the first problems is unhealthy weight gain. A typical protein bar carries between 200 and 300 calories. Eating 2 or 3 in a single day can add 600 to 900 extra calories on top of normal meals. At age 60 and beyond, metabolism slows, so this surplus quickly turns into fat, especially belly fat. Belly fat is not just about appearance. It increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, conditions already common in older adults. Another problem is weak muscle recovery. As we noted earlier, many bars do not contain enough leucine, the amino acid that triggers the muscle building process. That means even though the label shows a high protein number, the signal to repair and rebuild muscles never gets fully activated. The outcome is that sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, still progresses. Many older adults believe they are feeding their muscles, when in reality they are not stopping the gradual loss of strength and independence. A review published in the Journal of Nutrition for the Elderly in 2025 confirmed this trend. It reported that some older adults who ate protein bars frequently did not improve their muscle strength and often gained weight instead. The researchers explained that the products were high in calories but lacked key nutrients and amino acids. As a result, fat mass increased more than muscle mass, creating an unhealthy balance that raised long-term health risks. There is also the hidden problem of low-grade chronic inflammation. Diets high in sugar and additives can spark inflammatory responses in the body. This type of inflammation does not cause sharp pain right away, but over time it increases the risk of heart disease, joint problems, and even memory decline. For older adults, whose immune systems are already more sensitive, the added burden of chronic inflammation can speed up the loss of vitality. Relying too heavily on packaged products also narrows nutritional diversity. A bar cannot provide vitamin D, calcium, omega-3 fats, or fiber, all of which are critical after 60. When whole meals are gradually replaced with processed products, the body misses these essential building blocks that protect bones, support the brain, and keep digestion healthy. The troubling part is that these effects build slowly. At first, there may only be a heavy feeling in the stomach or little progress after exercise. Over time, the belly expands, stairs feel harder, and fatigue comes sooner. In the long run, the risks of chronic disease rise and quality of life slips away. That is the real cost of leaning too much on protein bars without balance. The key takeaway is that protein bars are not the enemy, but they are not a miracle either. Used wisely, they can be convenient. Used carelessly, they do more harm than good, especially for people over 60. Which brings us to the final point. What smarter choices can we make to keep our muscles strong in safer, more natural ways? After looking at the risks of protein bars, the most practical question older adults ask is, what should we do instead? Because no matter what, protein remains the cornerstone of muscle health, protecting us from weakness and helping us keep our independence. The first and most reliable answer is to return to natural protein sources. Instead of depending on packaged bars, we can get high-quality protein from foods we already know and trust. Eggs are a simple example. A single boiled egg holds about 6 to 7 grams of protein, rich in leucine, along with vitamins and minerals that support both muscles and bones. 2 eggs a day, paired with vegetables and some healthy starch, provide far better recovery than a sugary protein bar. Greek yogurt is another excellent choice. 1 cup contains around 10 to 12 grams of protein, with little sugar and easy digestion. It also adds probiotics that improve gut health, which is especially important for older adults who often have digestive issues. Add some berries, walnuts, or almonds, and you have a complete snack that builds muscle and supports digestion. Beans and seeds also deserve a place. Soy, chickpeas, lentils, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds all offer plant-based protein along with fiber. A smoothie made with soy milk, banana, and a spoonful of chia seeds can deliver protein, good carbs, and healthy fats in one balanced drink. Unlike most protein bars, this is real nutrition we can control and enjoy fresh. For those who still want the convenience of a bar, the rule is to choose carefully. A good protein bar should have less than 5 grams of sugar, at least 10 grams of protein from quality sources like whey or casein, and very few additives. Used this way, a bar can serve as an occasional backup snack on busy days, but it should never replace whole meals that supply the broad range of nutrients our bodies need. The bigger shift is in how we think about protein. It is not only found in a flashy bar or packaged cake. It is in the egg we boil, the piece of fish we cook, the yogurt we enjoy, or the bean stew we have loved for years. Natural foods deliver protein together with calcium, vitamin D, zinc, and fiber. That combination is what keeps us strong and balanced. Picture a morning meal that includes a boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast, and a small bowl of Greek yogurt with strawberries. Compare that to grabbing a bar on the way out the door. The first option is not only richer in nutrition, but also gives us a sense of care and comfort, a reminder that we are nourishing ourselves with intention. That is the kind of habit that builds lasting muscle health after 60. In the end, the solution is not to ban protein bars completely. It is to place them in the right role. They can be handy now and then, but real food must remain the foundation. Only by keeping that balance can we truly preserve muscle, prevent weakness, and hold on to the quality of life that matters most as we age. Throughout today's video, we've taken a closer look at a trend that is becoming more and more common: protein bars and baked goods advertised as high in protein. First, We saw why these products have become such a craze in the US. From the bold numbers on the packaging to the promise of quick, convenient nutrition, it's easy for many people, including older adults, to be drawn in. Second, when we looked beyond the marketing, we found that many bars and cakes are loaded with sugar, glycerin, and additives, while missing leucine, the key amino acid needed for real muscle recovery. Third, the bigger problem lies in how they're used. Many people replace entire meals with bars or eat them at the wrong times, which leaves their diet unbalanced. Fourth, when this habit continues over time, the results can be unhealthy weight gain, a growing waistline, higher risks of diabetes and heart disease, and ongoing loss of muscle mass. And finally, the safer and more lasting solution is to return to natural foods: eggs, Greek yogurt, beans, fish, or simple homemade smoothies. If you still want to use a bar, choose one that is low in sugar, high in quality protein, and treat it as an occasional snack rather than your main source of nutrition. The most important lesson to keep in mind is that no packaged product can replace the variety and richness of nutrients that real food provides. Protein bars may be convenient, but lasting muscle strength comes only when we nourish our bodies with wholesome foods. If you found today's content useful, don't forget to hit like, share this video so others can benefit, and subscribe to the channel to stay with us for more health topics ahead. And here's what I'd love to ask you if you had to pick one source of protein for your daily routine. Would you choose eggs, yogurt, or a fresh homemade smoothie? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can all learn from each other.